Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you guys are here and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. You guys, I know that you guys can't tell because I have all of my lighting here in my office, but today is an exceptionally gloomy, rainy, eerie day, and for me personally, on those days, I just want to curl up in my bed, throw on a scary movie, read an eerie book, go through your guys' comments, and just get into the spooky vibes. And so that is exactly what I did for pretty much all of today. And I stumbled across a story of somebody's experience with the dark web. Now, we haven't talked about the dark web in a little while here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, my last video on the dark web was like last year. So I was like, you know what? Instead of just reading this all by myself, why don't I head into my office, throw on the camera and read it with you guys, because it seems like it's gonna be a very, very creepy story. So I thought, well, why not get spooked with my family? Before we get into today's video though, I would just very quickly like to thank today's video sponsor, Pinecone. Pinecone is a very easy way to earn cash and gift cards. Basically, you take online surveys to earn points and earn cash rewards. And there's even opportunities to test and review products. You can redeem rewards via gift cards, direct deposit, and products. Something that is absolutely amazing about Pinecone is they have a guaranteed payout amount for every survey, which is higher than most companies. Better yet, it is so easy to incorporate into your day, meaning that pretty much at any time you could be earning cash, gift cards, or products. Pinecone is invite only and my link is your way in, so make sure you guys click the link down in my description to start making money, and thank you so much to Pinecone for sponsoring. But without further ado, let's get into this creepy dark web experience. All right, here we go. I'm so excited. As I said, I just love to read spooky things on days like today. Like, I'm looking outside right now and it's rainy and eerie and I am so here for it. So let's get into this story. I've had way too much time on my hands lately. I guess you could say boredom got the best of me. I got laid off a few months ago and finding a job in my field has proven much more difficult than I anticipated. It's been a constant, repetitive cycle for me. Wake up, search for jobs, get frustrated, and then crack a beer. Same old, same old. I started dreading waking up, to be honest with you. Not in a I don't want to live kind of way, but more in a here we go again, living the same old day. This went on for a while, and honestly, I blame myself for that. It wasn't my fault I got laid off or that I wasn't allowed to go anywhere, but it was my fault I wasn't finding healthy habits and that I spent my nights with a six-pack and some chips. One day, I woke up and I just felt different. I didn't know how to describe the feeling, but my morning didn't feel the same as the others had. I went through my day the same way I had told you about before, except this time when I got to the beer part of my day, I was craving some real adventure. I pulled out my iPad and started Googling fun things I could do to pass some time. I kept clicking on different articles. Some were creative articles, some were movie recommendations, and then somehow, before I knew it, I was on some creepy pages. This has happened to me quite often with like really eerie YouTube videos. Like sometimes I'll be like watching all these videos and I find myself in the dark corner of the internet and I'm like, wow, here we are again. Well, let's continue. There were some cheap thrill suggestions in the spooky department. Some scary movies you could watch or creepy games you could play. And then I saw the article I wish I didn't click, all about the dark web. You're probably gonna think I was living under a rock, but I'd never heard of the dark web before this. I was obviously interested, so I read the article. And then I probably read about 20 more articles on the dark web after that. You could say I was hooked. By this point, I was about 8 beers deep and like a thrilled child. I had to try this. I had to go on the dark web and see what kind of messed up things I could find. I know I sound insane, but if you combine enough boredom with just the right amount of beer and curiosity, that's what you get. I should have known. Curiosity killed the cat, but I grabbed my laptop, eager to get started. After watching countless videos and reading as many articles as I could, I decided to take on the dark web. I can't even tell you the rush I felt as I opened up my browser. And bam, before I knew it, I was surfing the dark web. At first, I was pretty underwhelmed. I didn't see all these crazy things that the articles told me I would. I felt like maybe it was just overhyped and that the stories of the dark web were purely a scare tactic. Turns out, I just didn't know where to look for them. I eventually stumbled across a site that haunts me to this day. Right when I was about to get off, I saw what I thought had to be the most ridiculous forum. It was about a man who was looking for someone to snack on, and that he would pay them for a chunk of them. I reread the title about 10 times to make sure that my eyes were seeing that right. After all, I'd had a decent amount of beer, so I couldn't trust my sight. The man said that he wanted just a chunk to satisfy his craving. At the bottom, it said to message him in the live chat if it was something that you were interested in. In bold letters, it read, "Serious inquiries only." I actually laughed out loud. That was ridiculous. A chunk of flesh? Who the hell even jokes about that? I knew I would never offer him myself as a snack, but I had to know if this was some sort of sick joke. I figured I'd mess with the guy a little bit, since I assumed that's what he wanted, and honestly, I was drunk and stupid and looking for a thrill. I opened up the chat and sent him what I thought was a hilarious message. "Lucky for you, I've got some extra meat on me since quarantine. Send." He didn't laugh. In fact, he wrote back pretty quick and was dry, asking my price. I tried to fire back a few more jokes with him until the atmosphere started to change. I could tell he knew I wasn't serious and he was not pleased. "Wait, are you serious? Ew, what kind of sicko are you?" I pressed send as a look of disgust filled my face. I started to think maybe all those dark web stories weren't made up and that this space was actually full of creeps and criminals. I was about to click out of the site when he sent me a picture of myself. It seemed he'd gotten from my webcam. My stomach sunk. He started typing. Everything froze for me. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was anonymous. How did this creep get my picture? "Jacob blank. I'm asking kindly for flesh, even offering to pay, but if you waste my time, I will come and take yours as I please." I swallowed down the giant lump forming in my throat. How did he know my name? How did he hack my webcam? I thought this was anonymous. The already spinning room started spinning even faster. I didn't know if I wanted to throw up or hide. This man really wanted flesh? The dark web really is this dark? What had I done? Who was he? A million questions filled my mind. Then he wrote again. This time, only my address. He sent me my address. I slammed my laptop shut and stared at the wall for hours. For the coming weeks, I didn't feel safe in my home at all. All I wanted was to go back to my safe, predictable days, but every other thought I had was that some deranged man could strike at any minute. Was he even a man? Who even knows? I gave my landlord my notice, sold my laptop, and moved to another city. I will never, ever surf the dark web again. I didn't think the stories were real, but now I will never, ever doubt it again. When I started sharing my story, people came forward and told me I'm lucky I didn't stumble across something much darker. And honestly, I'm so glad I didn't. The stories that I heard from people were absolutely traumatizing. I won't share them with you here because trust me, you're better off not knowing. But what I do know is that what I came across was disturbing. It just wasn't the worst of the dark web. That is a very real thing. I'm sharing my story because I want to warn whoever reads this to not make the same stupid mistake that I did. Stay safe. There are creepers out there, even more so on the dark web. And that is the end of the experience. Oh my goodness, anytime I read these dark web stories, I get absolute chills because I don't know about you guys, whenever I read anything, whether it's a romantic story or it's a story like this, I put myself into the person's shoes and I imagine how I would feel in these types of situations, and it absolutely freaks me out. In fact, I obviously don't surf the dark web, but I have webcam covers on all of my devices. Actually, I have my iPad right here. One second. Ignore my fingerprints, but as you can see, I even have my iPad camera covered because I've read way too many of these stories and I hear about like people's webcams being hacked and I'm like, not today. So the fact that he was writing this guy trying to mess with him and then the guy replies back with a photo of him, his full name, and his address is very unsettling, especially for how quick it seems he obtained that information. Like, I don't know, what do you guys think of this? Do you think it was a true experience? Do you believe that things like this are occurring? I do know that when I did a video on the dark web and I was looking into the different types of pages that you can come across, there was something called like cannibal cafes where people who want to be eaten meet people who want to eat, and it's just very unsettling personally, in my opinion. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think of this particular experience. Have any of you ever been on the dark web? What was your experience like? I've heard plenty of people say, hey, it's just a wider range of the internet. It's not all dark. It's not all creepy. But to think that the internet that we surf on a daily basis is just the tip of that giant iceberg, and yet we have access to so much on regular internet, you're bound to come across some creepy stuff if there's that much more out there. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this particular experience. I want to know, do you think it's real? And I want to know what you think of it and how you think that guy got his information. Basically, that is it for today's video. Before we conclude it, I do just very quickly want to say I love reading through all of your guys' comments, and even though I don't reply to every single comment, I try to read as many comments as I possibly can. So if you ever have a story that you want to share, or if you have any video suggestions, make sure you comment them down below. With that being said, I would love to once again thank Pinecone for sponsoring today's video. As I mentioned, my link is your way in, so make sure you guys click the link down in my description and start making money. And yeah, thank you so much to Pinecone for sponsoring. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy my videos, I would seriously love it more than you will ever know if you'd go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.